Welcome, everybody. This is Wednesday's class, and we're doing silver bells, and we're going to look at all kinds of possibilities for how to make some beautiful bell sounds on your instruments. And what do we actually know about silver bells? Well, this is a classic Christmas song composed by Jay Livingston and Ray Evans. The lyric is unusual for a Christmas song because it describes the festival in the city. And a lot of Christmas songs are all about the rural settings. The rural settings. And this one is exactly the opposite. Silver Bells was first performed by Bob Hope and Marilyn Maxwell in the motion picture The Lemon Drop Kid. Now, I had never seen that movie, and I had no idea what it was about. It was filmed in 1950 and released March of 51. But if you go to YouTube and look up Silver Bells and go to the Bing Crosby, Marilyn Maxwell Lemon Drop Kid original edition, you will find those two singing it, and it's actually really, really pretty and really cool. And from there, I also got either a little interlude that I'm going to put on Patreon, and you can use it as an introduction, but I was actually surprised to see that in the original movie, they used this in between verses. In between verses. They're walking through the city, and they're taking a look at all the Santas who are ringing their bells, and that's actually where this inspiration came from, was the bell ringers at Christmas in the city. Now, Silver Bells started out as the questionable Tinkle Bells. Tinkle Bells. Well, we never thought that tinkle had a double meaning till Jay went home and his wife said, "Are you out of your mind? Do you have any idea what the word tinkle means?" And they didn't. And then when they found out from his wife, they were like, "Oops, we got to change that." The song was inspired by the imagery of the Salvation Army bell ringers standing outside the department stores during the Christmas season. All right, it was a recording by Vic Damone. That was featured in Donnie Brasco in 1997. And you're going to not believe how many groups and how many people have actually recorded this. 101 Strings Orchestra, Al Martino, Patti Page, Patti Loveless, Percy Faith. Okay, that was just the first page. Take a look at all these. Wow, that's an awful lot of people who have recorded this song. Just a whole bunch of people. And if I turn the page, there's the rest of them. So this all came from Wikipedia. There's just tons and tons of people who have done this. So you can actually make this your own arrangement, and then you can add your name to this list. Okay, so I did it with two different versions, and I did some doctoring up of things. I actually used the Easy Waltz, which everybody has, even on the smaller organs. It is the waltz full band. But those of you that have the touch screens, what I did is I went in to edit the style, and I changed the genie to bells. I changed the genie to bells. Now remember, when you're editing style, you cannot change what those instruments are actually doing. You're only substituting the instrument, but the pattern of whatever the old one was doing is actually going to take over. So let's just see. It was actually a guitar before, but I made it into bells, and then I kept everything else the same. So it just added that touch of bells to the Easy Waltz background. You can do that to any background, by the way. You just touch the top of the screen, you find one of them that you think might work, you touch it, you scroll until you get to bells, and then you choose the bells that you think might actually work the best, and listen and see if you like it. Because once you save it into a preset, it's going to stay that way. So what did I use for sounds? Well, the easiest way to find your bells is to go to your More button and go to the category that says bells and find some bells that are going to work for you. And I actually liked number 1, bells number 1, because it's music box bells. And on the bottom, there's a real pretty flute. And that just sounds so pretty for parts of the song. But you can try any of the bells. There's a clock bell. There's Celeste bells, which is what I used for the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. You have hand bells, octave bells, pizzicato, which I also used for the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. Then you have bells plus vibes. You have honky tonk bells, which includes a honky tonk piano. You have bells with harmony, and you have the Big Ben bells. Yeah. But we're going to use bells number 1. So that's what we're using for this. And I will be adding a duet. Okay, and I'm at 90 beats per minute. I'm also going to be adding a couple of chords, actually more than a couple, and I'm going to be adding some extra notes. And you can make it as easy or as hard as you want. You can add the extra chords if you want. Just play what's there. It's going to be fine. This is one of those rare songs that is not in the key of C and it's not in the key of F like most of our easy play music. This is in the key of B flat. So do you need to know what the scale is for B flat? You do not. There's lots of B flats and E flats, but you don't need to know that. You just play what's here. The only reason you need to know what key this song was actually written in is so that you know which introduction to use if you are indeed using one of the introductions. Even if you're not, you might just want to play that B flat chord and just let it go a little bit so that you can just use that as an introduction so you know how fast you're going.
Dawn,
Uh-huh.
what was the rhythm song set up?
I did not see this one in song setup, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of times with waltzes, it's so obvious that you're going to use a waltz that Bill Curry did not put it in the song setup.
So what waltz did you use?
Right now I'm on Easy Waltz, which is your waltz with no variation.
Oh, okay.
I also used, and I think my favorite was actually Lullaby.
Oh,
I used that one as well, and I'll show you what I did on that one too. I don't think I went into Lullaby with the edit style, so I kind of wanted to show you what I did with editing style, and it can just something as simple as changing the guitar to bells. And that's what I did with this one. You can just hear them. And then I'm going to play the intro that I wrote. And yeah, this came from the original movie. Okay, the second time I play it, I think I'll go to the other background just so you can hear what I did. This is the lullaby background. And I took out the genie. To start, I took out the genie. Now I'm also on Bell's music box. Now I'm going to put the genie back in and put the duet on. I'm also going to start on the bottom just for something different. But any waltz will work.
Yeah, I like them
Any
both.
any waltz, yeah, any waltz will work. So you can choose something. I would stay with one of your smoother waltzes, and I'm at 90 beats a minute. I don't know if I'd go Viennese waltz or jazz waltz. I think I'd stay away from those. But any of your smooth waltzes are going to work. And don't forget, you can put the bells in the background by editing the style. And then you can use any of your bells in that bell category.
Mhm.
And I
Dawn,
liked, yeah.
excuse me, did you put an intro in the beginning twice? Is that your own intro?
Yeah, that's my own intro. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to read the words to that because the words are actually really cool.
Okay.
Okay, it's Christmas makes you feel emotional. It may bring parties or thoughts devotional. Whatever happens or what may be, here is what Christmas time means to me. And then it goes into all the wonderful things about Christmas in the city.
Mhm.
So yeah, and you can play that, like I said, if you go to YouTube, instead of at the beginning, they actually put it between the verses.
Dawn?
Yes, Connie?
Yeah, I had this from someone else before, and it said they used the lullaby and they used vintage, and also they transposed it to key of A. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Was that by chance Joe Fontesha?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I'm not
Because
sure. Yeah, maybe it-
he's got
Sure.
perfect pitch and he hears all the instruments in their original keys, but I'm not sure why he would have transposed it down to A because that's
okay. What about the vintage? What
vintage is absolutely fine. It's actually very pretty. If you've got it on lullaby, your vintage. Let me see.
And you still take out the basics with the vintage?
I did to start. That's just to start. Okay. I put the Auric Plus on and the Genie out, just for the introduction. And then when I went into the city sidewalks, I added the Genie so that because there was just a little bit too much going on for that intro. That's Bells and Vibes.
Mhm.
bells and vibes. And that works very well too. It's a little stronger sound,
That's beautiful.
but it sounds very nice too. So yeah, don't be afraid to use what Lullaby already gives you. They give you some beautiful sounds.
Okay.
hmm And yes, vibes is classified as bells. So those of you with smaller instruments, if you don't have bells or you don't like the bells, your vibes are always going to give you a fabulous sound.
Yeah.
hmm Yep. I just think I liked it better with that music box because it was a little bit, and it was just a lighter, an airier sound. That's why I use that.
Dawn, could you put in, do that way in the beginning and then come back on the second time, do bells and vibes?
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of an accent.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me do that. Let me go to rhythm preset. Yeah,
I just meant on the second time.
and no, I got to get back to rhythm preset here. Why? Why is that doing that? Oh, I guess because I had it on number 2. Number 2 is bells and vibes with strings. If you actually, when you go to Lullaby, guess what comes up for vintage? Music box and flutes, which is actually the exact same sound as bells number 1. So yeah, that's actually the exact same sound. I was on rhythm preset too, so that made a difference too. But if you want that, if you like that, let's see, I can transport that over to C3, memorize C3. Okay, let's try that. Or you could just go from vintage 0 or normal 0 and then just hit number 2 the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hit, so it would be, it's going to be this. Uh-oh, I think I put that in the wrong spot. Let's just leave it here.
Sorry.
And then the second time you play it, yeah, that works.
That's,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah. That's
You have
pretty.
so many different bells, and you can play it as many times as you want. I know there's 2 endings, but you can actually play this as many times as you want, and try all your different bells and see what you come up with.
Yeah. That's really nice though.
It's a pretty song. Now, if you noticed, when I did the Silver Bells, I actually played 2 different things. One time when I played Silver Bells, I did an echo. And that would be
Yes.
something very easy. That's the easy way to do it. Just do an echo. Just do an echo an octave up. The same 3 notes an octave up. So every time you do the Silver Bells or the Ring-a-Ling, you can just do an echo an octave up. Now, what I actually did was what was in the original movie. Whoops, let's play them right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what actually is that? That's actually the B flat full fingered chord, and you're just playing the notes in a bouncing pattern.
Wow.
So I'll put those up on the screen so you can copy them. Let's do chords first, though. Let's do that. Let's go through and get your chords in. Because I did add a few chords.
As you can.
Because I can, that's exactly correct. All right, the first line is fine. Your first B flat is perfect. Line 2. I'm going to give you a choice. You may play D minor, or my favorite is B flat major 7.
Dawn, is that the second
Second
line?
line, first
Over-
beat over sidewalks.
Okay.
What was the
I'm
first?
either D minor, dinosaur minor, or the one that I really liked was B flat major 7, which would be A and B flat, alligators and flat butterflies. That's good for 2 counts. And then over the D for beat 3, put a B flat 7, which is A flat and B flat. So that actually makes a very nice B flat major 7, and then B flat 7. So you're just moving that one finger down.
Is that over the D for dressed?
Correct. The B flat 7 is over the D for dressed. Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Then the E flat's good and the C minor's good. Let's go to the next line. Play just the F. Cross the F7 off because we're going to move it over. So the F is good for 1 measure. Measure 2 over the E flat for feeling. Now make it an F7. E flat and F. Third measure, cross out the B flat and replace it with a C minor, C and E flat, or a C minor 7, which would be C, E flat, B flat, and that's good for 1 count, just 1 count, so it's optional. And then over the D, beat 2, now put your B flat back in. So you're only playing that C minor 7 for 1 count. 4th line, the F7 is good, the B flat is good. Let's go to the last measure of that page. Over the F, you may play D minor, D and F, or, my favorite, the B flat major 7. B flat major 7 is A and B flat for 2 counts. And then beat 3 over the D, the B flat 7. Guess what? We just did that up in line 2. So we're going to do it again.
Wait a minute. Over B flat, you're doing what now? Where it says children?
No. Nope. The B flat we're doing, no. We're in the last measure of that line.
Oh, the last measure.
Last
Okay.
measure, passing.
Oh, okay.
Over
Did you-
passing, do a B flat major 7, which is A and B flat, and then over meeting, do the B flat 7, which is A flat and B flat. So again, your succession of chords is over laughing, you've got a B flat. Over passing, you have a B flat major 7. And over meeting, you have a B flat 7. That just makes a real pretty walk down progression.
Dawn,
Mhm.
Dawn,
Yes?
it's Inez. If you play the D minor on the F, you still play the B flat
Yeah.
7? Okay.
Yes, you can still play the B flat 7. It's
Okay,
not going to sound as pretty, but it works. It still works. Yeah. Whoop, what the heck happened here? Oh, okay. All of a sudden, something flashed in front of my screen. Okay, as long as I didn't freeze up.
That was Frosty.
Yeah.
So on the first measure in that last line, was it F7 was a D minor?
No, that's an F7.
Oh, where did D minor go to?
The D minor would be that last measure instead of the B flat major 7 if you wish. I'm giving you a choice.
Oh, okay.
Over passing, you can either do a D minor or you can do the B flat major 7, either one.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, you got stuck in the wrong spot.
Can't
Next
have that.
page. The E flat is good. The C minor is good. The F is good. Cross out the F7 on the top because we're going to move him over. The second measure over the E flat for corner. Now put in your F7. The next line, B flat, C minor, B flat, perfect, just the way it is. The next line, E flat, perfect, just the way it is. The last line on the page, the F at the very beginning, cross out the F7. Just play the plain old F. We're going to do another little walk down. Beat 3 of that first measure over the B flat. We're going to play F major 7, which is E and F. And then second measure, first beat over the C for the word time. Now we're going to put in an F7, which is E flat and F. So it's going to be F, F major 7, F7. Just another really nice little walk down. The B flat at the end of the line is perfect. The top of the next page, cross out the F and the F7 and make it a C minor.
Really?
Yeah, chicken minor.
Hmm.
The B flat is perfect. The E flat is fine. At the end of line 2, the F is good, but cross that little F7 out because we're going to move him over. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to do F for 2 counts. Over the B flat, which is the last note of line 2, we're going to put in an F major 7, E and F. Line 3, beat 1 over the C, we're going to put an F7, which is E flat and F. And again, it's F, F major 7, and then F7. Just a real nice, pretty walk down. And that's it. That's it for all your chord changes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nothing for
super.
the rest of the lines?
Nope. You just leave the rest of the lines exactly the way they are.
Okay.
Yep. Now, I am going to have you make a couple of notes right now. If you get the intro, you are going to have a B flat add 9, which is an optional chord. You only have to play the B flat. But if you want to play a B flat add 9, it's going to be B flat, C, and D. And you must play it with the B flat on the bottom. So you're either going to be way up here or you're going to be down here.
And that's only for the intro?
That's only for the intro, correct?
Otherwise, what would it be?
Just B flat.
B flat, okay.
Just B flat.
Okay.
But you're also going to have a G minor. Then you're going to have a G minor major 7. So if you want to write down G minor major 7, which is G little m, capital MAJ 7, and it is F sharp, G, and B flat.
Is that in the intro still?
That's in the intro as well.
Are you talking about the intro or the ending?
No,
The intro.
Now, the interlude that you did?
Yep. Then you're going to have a G minor, which is G and B flat. Then you're going to have a G minor major 7, which adds the F sharp. Then you're going to have a G minor 7, which changes the F sharp to an F natural.
You have that on there though, right?
I have the chords on here. I'm not telling you what they are.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you're not taking notes right now and you're not sure how to get those chords and you don't
Well,
have
we
one of
don't.
my advanced chord charts, make sure you email me and I'm more than happy to tell you what they are. I also have on here a C9, which you can just play as a C or a C7. But if you want to play it as a C9, it is 4 fingers, C, D, E, and B flat. And the B flat can go top or bottom.
Dawn, I had a phone call. Did you do anything with the rest of the endings?
Nope, the endings are exactly as written.
Okay, so the F7 was that first and the third line, the first
Correct.
measure, and that was it then?
That's the last chord change. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, now let's go back to the right hand. And yes, I'm going to give you fingering last, but on page 2, when you do silver bells, remember you can either do echoes That's the easy way to do it. If you want to do it the hard way, you're going to put in what was in the original movie. Ooh, yeah. Now, what actually is that? Well, the first one, the chord is a B flat. So it's actually a full-fingered B flat chord that we're just taking apart and bouncing around on. All right, so here's what you're going to do. At the end of the third line, you're going to start that with a B flat eighth note. Let's see if I can see that. I'm
Where
going
you
to mute you all. I'm going to mute you all so that this shows up in the window. Okay, there's that B flat at the end of that line, and then it continues D, F, B flat, D, F. So the B flat by my fingernail over here, and then it continues in the next line, high D, F, B flat, D, F. Those are the notes in a B flat chord bouncing around. Now the next one is after the silver bells here, and that's actually the notes in an E flat chord bouncing around. So it's B flat in that first end of that first measure there, and then it goes to a high E flat, G, B flat, E flat, G. It's the notes in the E flat chord just taken apart and bounced around. Here's the first one again. Let's see, where is that? There's the B flat. And the next one is over here. Okay, what else did we do? The next page. You've got ring-a-ling, hear them ring. It's the same notes because you have that B flat chord. And so you're going to start with the B flat in this measure, and then go D, F, B flat, D, F. You're just bouncing around. And then hear them ring is the same thing, where you're taking the E flat chord apart. And it's B flat, high E flat, G, B flat, E flat, G. You're just taking apart that E flat chord and bouncing around on those notes. Okay?
Hold that top line, please.
Top line again.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
B
What are
flat,
those notes
D.
there? B flat, D, F,
Okay.
B flat, D,
Yep.
F.
I'm gonna hit mute all because the minute you guys start talking,
I'm
then
sorry.
that's all right. Then your picture goes up in the front screen. B flat, high D, down to F, back up to B flat, down to D, back up to F. You're just bouncing around on that B flat full fingered chord. And you're doing it again in the second line with the E flat chord. B flat up to the high E flat, down to G, back to the B flat, down to the E flat, back up to the G. It's an E flat full fingered chord and you're just bouncing around. Now if that's too hard, just do the echoes. And the interlude can go in between the verses. It can go at the beginning and then go back to it if you want. I actually like it as an intro. And yeah, feel free to change your sounds. Feel free to change them however you want to do that. How are we doing on time? Oh, perfect. wanted to change sounds, this would be the place to change sounds. And you can try all the different bell sounds that you have in the bells. Or if you're on lullaby, just go up and down the line. There's some beautiful sounds right there already. If you're on a different waltz, make sure you go to the more section and go for those bells. Any questions?
And I hear fills.
You hear
Did I
fills?
hear-
Yes, you did hear
Yes.
fills. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes. And I have a tendency to overuse my fills, but I think that wherever you're holding a long note, that's the perfect spot to throw in a fill. And this lullaby just gives you lots of harps that just roll up and down, and it just sounds so pretty. Yes, you did hear
Yes,
the fills.
thank you.
Yeah, good ear.
Dawn,
Yeah.
instead of using the E flat run, you could use the fills in there instead, couldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. If you don't feel
Yeah.
like doing an echo or any of those other notes, you could just use a fill in between. Yep.
Echo.
Absolutely. You can make this as easy or as hard as you want, and that's what makes these so much fun. If you just try it and do it in one spot, perfect. If you do it in no spots, perfect. It's perfect however you want to play it. Yeah, everything that I put in is optional for you. It's just some people like to get pushed a little bit harder, so I push a little bit. Some people say, not for me, and say, I'm just going to play what's there, and that's fine. No worries. All right, as far as next week, what are we doing next week? We're doing What Are You Doing New Year's Eve? And then after next week, we will go back to our regular 70s book. And no, I have not, I don't see Mona on today. Oh, yes, she is there today. Mona, I have not done Layla yet, so we're not going to do it yet.
Here. Here, that's okay.
Not yet, but we will go back and pick up Layla because I do want to put in that real pretty piano solo at the end. And I just have not had the time to be able to do any of that. So,
Dawn,
yes.
what book is What Are You Doing New Year's Eve in?
I have no idea. I have to find it.
Okay. It's not in 215 here.
It's not? Okay. I don't know. I have to find it.
No.
As soon as I find it, shoot me an email and I'll scan it to you. No problems.
Okay.
Yep. And if I can't find it, I will be calling several of you.
We did have it once. but-
Yes, some of you have it.
Yeah, but it's in one of the, I've got 400 books here, so it's in one
Yeah,
of them.
yep. I got it 400 books here too, so it's got to be here someplace.
Here, it's there.
I've just never taught that one before, so this one's going to be fun for me too.
Yeah.
Dawn,
That's great.
Yeah.
Dawn, it says it's on Easy 59
Okay.
or
Oh, I got that one here.
164.
Okay. I've got 59 here. Yep, so I'll find it. Thank you. Okay, if you need fingering, stick around. The rest of you have a fabulous, fabulous rest of the day. And if I don't see you on Friday for class, have a very blessed Christmas and stay safe, and we'll see you next week. You guys are
Thank
awesome.
you. Same to you. I'm very
Thank
excited.
you.
Dawn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dawn,
Yeah.
on the second page, could you hold that sheet up again for the notes?
Yep. They're the same
I
notes
just
as they
wanna-
are. They're the same notes that
Okay.
they are for the third page. When you have
Okay.
that B flat chord, they're going to be the
Yeah.
same. I'm muting you all again. All right, so I can hold it up. And it's the B flat at the end of that line. And then there's the rest of your notes. And then for the E flat chord, there's your notes. Got it? All right, let's do some fingering. Fingering's pretty easy, actually. You just fingers go where they want to go in this song. B flat 5, G3, F2, D1, B flat 5, G3, F2, D1, high D5, C4, B flat 3, G1, 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 C5, B flat 4, A3, F2, E1. E flat 2, circle it, that's a crossover. F3, E flat 2, E flat 2, D1. Children laughing, B flat 5, G3, F2, D1. B flat 5, G3, F2, D1. High D5, C4. Let's go to the second page. B flat 3, G1, G1, G1. C5, B flat 4, A3, F2, E1. E flat 2, circle it, it's a crossover. Now here it's a little tricky. F1, so you're going to do a 1, 2, and then tuck that thumb under even extra note. So it's a E1, E flat 2, F1, and then C5. Next line, B flat 4, D1, E flat 2, F3, and if you start on, it doesn't really matter what finger you start with, you can start on B flat 3, and then high D5, and then just walk your hand down. Let's go to the silver bells on the next line, G1, A2, B flat 3. Here if you start with B flat 2 and go to E flat 5, that's a good start, and then just walk your hand down. Last line, A2, A2, B flat 3, C4, B flat 3, A2, B flat 3, F1. All right, last page. Ring-a-ling, D2, E flat 3. Actually, wait a minute, why did I do that? Oh, I know why I did that. I think if you do 1, 2, 3, it's going to be fine. Yeah, just let's change that. Let's do D1, E flat 2, F3. That'll keep you more consistent, 1, 2, 3. Then the high notes, if you start on B flat 3 and D5, then just walk your hand down. Second line, hear them ring, G1, A2, B flat 3, then you're going to lift your hand, start with B flat 2, E flat 5, and walk your hand down. Soon it will be A2, A2, B flat 3, C4, B flat 3, A2, B flat 3. Your pickup notes at the end of line, at the end of the first ending are B flat 5, G3, and your second ending is B flat 3, and that's it. Keep it as easy as you want, make it as hard as you want. But just enjoy playing it, and yeah, lullaby vintage is exactly bells number 1. It really and truly is this exact same thing. So good preset. Don't be afraid to try all kinds of other things. It's just a real pretty song. All right. Well, hopefully I'll see some of you on Friday. If not, no worries. I know it's New Year's Eve. It's not New Year's Eve, it's Christmas Eve. But a lot of you are going to be busy, and that's okay. But I'm still going to have class. So for those of you who can join me Friday at 11 o'clock. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. You're awesome.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye-bye. Love you.